Coming up now from Lagos, Nigeria, it's Moments Girls Talk. Guests of the day are media personality Fadi Ogunro and Nigerian artist Nosa. They join the girls to discuss the topic, the God conversation.
So man always brings up something to justify his actions. You know, so imagine in the Bible, Satan is tempting Jesus and he uses a line of scripture.
I'd say the main thing that Christianity has taught me is probably not to be so afraid of death. Yeah, because I kind of embraced the religion when my father passed away.
The time is right and the show is Moments.
Today's episode is all about religion. So we're going to be having a conversation about religion specifically in Nigeria. Now, because Nigerians are, I would say, thought to be, I'm not going to say are, I would say thought to be or thought of as very religious. Do you think that that makes us as a nation better than other religions or other nations that are not as religious?
No.
Okay.
So just so you know, this is an open forum. Please be as honest as possible.
I think because of the lack of education to some extent, I find that it's not so declared between religion and tradition and like culture. So there's some certain things that they practice that some, I don't know whether you want to call it, whether you're Baptist or celestial or you're, oh, by the way, what's up with Cele? I don't really get that. Like, why isn't there celestial? I haven't seen it in any other country. Have you?
They actually do have them in other countries.
They do? I've never seen it.
Yes, they do.
I've never seen white. I've never seen white
like
garment.
the white
where they wear
where
white.
They don't
Where
wear
they wear
any
white
shoes.
garment. They do.
I haven't seen
They
it.
have
anywhere.
celestial churches. You mean celestial churches in other? There are celestial churches in other countries.
No,
It
where they
originated in Nigeria. So
No, where
that's
did
why
it originate? Yes,
in
here.
Nigeria.
But
Yeah.
you do
so-
have branches in other
So
countries.
now my question is,
but-
where in the Bible or what are they reading that says you must be barefoot and wearing white to show that you are, you know? So there's some things, let me not be too ignorant, but there's some things that I feel that it's more traditional and they've incorporated it into the religion. And I just want, like, if you're a Muslim, follow what's in the book. If you're a Christian, follow what's in the book. And everything else is just,
See,
it's
see,
extra.
I'd like
see,
your
that's
opinion.
that's the problem. Following what's in the book.
Yeah.
People misinterpret it themselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
They try to own an interpretation. They try to, like the select guy would tell you that God told Moses that where you're standing is holy ground, so take off your shoes. And then
So a Jota bus stop.
is holy.
Once you put your white garment on,
okay.
you're
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to.
purity and but the thing
Then
is,
they'll get tetanus when they step on glass. And then what
see,
happens
Let
then?
him land.
Sorry,
Let him land.
that's the thing. The problem is not with the religion itself; it's with man
Thank
and
you.
how man chooses to interpret whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, because if there wasn't religion, we would use race to cause, you know,
Conflict.
or we would use class. You know, so man always brings up something to justify his actions. You know, so imagine in the Bible, Satan is tempting Jesus and he uses a line of scripture. He quotes.
To tempt him.
Yeah, the
Yes.
tempt, yeah.
Yes, to tempt him.
You know
So-
what's interesting is, and I'm going to be really honest and blunt because I think I've struggled. It's interesting. My faith has been very different based on living in America and based on living here.
Yeah.
I feel like I was more spiritual outside of Nigeria than I am here. And I say that because I remember when I was in uni, you know, in uni, part of my faith was I used to tell a lot of people about Christ and like I'd be on the train and I'd just be like, you know,
Evangelizing?
have you talked to someone? Do you know who Jesus
Yeah.
is?
Wow.
You know, and just have conversations. Here, almost everyone is a Christian. Nigerians, the way we say is, how are you? Ah, God day.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you see people who are armed robbers who stole money and then they take the money that they stole and pay tithes on it, thinking that it's
exactly.
going to cleanse the money.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or
That's
those,
a
or
problem.
those that go and pray before they rob.
That's a problem. Do you see what I'm saying?
really
It's a major problem.
It's
a major
We use
problem.
God
And a major
for everything.
Exactly,
The evil,
and a major
the good,
flaw.
the confusion, everything is because God does. God, it's such.
So-
I just.
Yeah, and if you can't use God as an excuse, then you create some other excuse. That's the thing.
Yes, which
You know?
in Nigeria tends to be the devil.
Yeah.
The devil made me do it.
Yeah.
If you do something,
religion.
Exactly. No,
It's
the
still
thing
boiled
is,
down
the
to
thing is,
religion,
the
yeah.
thing is,
Nobody-
she was
there's no
talking about
accountability.
education. She was talking about now in other terms you could say enlightenment. Now, when I was teaching some people about languages and a people's language would tell you much about their culture, their traditions.
Okay.
So, for instance, in the English language, you don't have any names that that will tell you about deity.
Yeah.
It's about
like, for example,
the
Olukoni
handle.
means there's only one God.
You understand?
Okay.
There's in Yoruba language, for instance, there's Olu, there's Oshun, there's Ogun, there's Ifa. You're attached to the name. So it will tell you so much about the people. They believe in spirits. They believe in the spiritual. So when you bring religion to them and tell them that there's even a higher spiritual entity than the one you believe, they will accept it. So it's not really religion per se, it's the orientation we had as Africans even before the white man came. So the white man saw that, okay, hey, these guys to them, you know, in the West it's science. And when someone is saying science is better than religion, I say, okay, but religion is not building weapons of mass destruction, it's science. So it's just man.
Okay.
And it tells a lot
But I
about
have a
who
very
we are.
serious question that I want to ask us, and I want Fadi to hear what you're saying, because that's true, but our problem is deep. And it's
really
deep, but
deep.
we're going to continue this conversation coming up shortly right after this.
Oh, if you fall over and you stub your toe,
Somebody was
it's a
planning
message.
you.
Somebody
Yes.
has got, like, I don't understand that way of thinking.
Where
To
did
me,
it
it's
come
just-
from?
But you know
It's
what?
just-
Let me tell you
I
where it
just
came
don't-
from.
We
and
don't
the reason
want
why-
to take
but I'm
I'm
responsibility.
curious about that because
So
before
there's
I
no
moved
such thing
here,
as bad luck.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. Today on the show, we're having a very interesting conversation. We're talking about religion and its influence on Nigeria as a whole. Now, Fadi, I know that you have something you wanted to talk about.
I think the whole topic just gets me really heated.
Yeah.
You made some very valid points, Nosa, but
Yeah.
I think pertaining to the specific question that Michelle asked, which is, being such a religious society,
We're not
are we
better.
actually better
No, we're not better.
than any other?
absolutely
And I
not.
don't think so
Absolutely
at
not.
all. We're one of the most corrupt nations in the world. So that
I think it actually-
statistic,
I think that's a
as it's-
crutch
that
that's
aside, because we're
ruined
talking
everything.
about religion specifically, not even, because you talked about corruption, but as far as being religious people and the fact that we like to tout ourselves as a very Christian nation.
We do. Yeah.
We are the biggest bunch of hypocrites
yes.
I have ever met or encountered in my, honestly.
It's really
I'm
bad.
very proud to be a Nigerian, but that's one of the things that stood out for me when I came here. I've noticed that one of the things that a lot of people find very odd is that if you show, because you had mentioned before the break, showing love and care towards
Yes.
people. I believe in encouraging
advantage.
friends and strangers alike, because as a Christian, that is what I was raised to do.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
always think I have
They-
some
you
ulterior
got-
motive.
Thank you.
Michelle is odd. She's very
Oh my
oibo.
God. I think it's not even
It's part, no, it is part of being, because to be a Christian, you're supposed to love your neighbor.
But you guys,
as
you know
love
what's
yourself.
interesting? Let me tell you something that's really interesting. And my sister and I have had this conversation. We've talked about how the concept of love in Nigeria is a very hard
warped.
thing
It's
for
a
us
myth.
to,
It doesn't
to
exist.
understand. Whenever I want to tell my sister I love you, I use my American accent. It's
Why?
the weirdest thing. Like in my head, I'll be like, if I want to be like, oh, I love you. It's so weird when I
why?
want to say, I love you. I love you.
Wait, please.
I love
Sounds
you.
like you want to fight that.
When my dad was alive, I would tell him.
Don't you understand what I'm saying?
Whenever
It
I
just
told my
sounds
dad I
boring.
love you, he would be like, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Because
I think that's just because men generally
No, but
show
Michelle,
Nah,
No,
it's
the
not.
society
So we
that
think
we
what
live
a
in,
man
because of our
thinks.
language,
the society
It's-
that we live
it's
in,
orientation,
respect
it's-
and hierarchy is what this society was built on, not the concept of love and compassion.
True.
Simple as.
It's just the way it is.
The way. Okay, something. Let me just give you a very small example. Right, rush hour traffic, our lower road in Ikoyi. Imagine if there were no security men to stop the traffic when a car wants to reverse. If you're there and you're trying to reverse, you will be there for at least 1 hour.
does that
No,
have
I've
No,
met
that's fair enough.
a
Hold on,
lot
Fadi.
of people.
But
I
that
met
has
a
a
lot
lot
of
to do
people
with being
who would
impatient,
stop.
because we're impatient
Exactly.
people, and also because we tend to be very aggressive people.
Because
But to
there's-
say
it goes
hold on,
to
hold on.
compassion.
To say something positive about that situation. Had this been in the US and you had a situation like that where somebody's trying to drive past, they'd bring out a gun and shoot somebody else. At least we don't go that far.
No, but
No,
Michelle, I
at least we
understand.
don't go that
The
far.
thing is-
We're not
the thing is-
compassionate.
the
I
thing-
totally agree. We're not
Even for
compassionate.
human beings to cross
Absolutely.
the
The thing
road,
is-
like
the-
nobody
the
stops
thing
the
is-
car. You
Hold
can
on,
see
no, go ahead.
children crossing the road. You literally
Okay.
have to have somebody say stop, and you have like a bunch of kids
I
cross the
completely-
road.
so what were you
I mean,
gonna
at
say?
what point
Go
do
ahead.
you?
Well, because that's who we are innately, like inside of
I
us.
reject that.
No.
I am
See,
not- I don't know who the we is.
I've seen. I said I'll do a case study on how Nigerians think using traffic. So now you find people who are in a hurry to just go somewhere, and if you delay them, they feel you are a messenger from hell trying to delay their destiny, and then you bring a message that tells them that's how Africans think. Now you bring a message that tells them.
Africans.
Oh, okay, well,
Nigerian.
West Africa. Well, okay, but you bring a message that tells them, or a religion that tells them, you know what, somebody has done everything for you. There's a fast track to prosperity. You don't, you know, and you go inside that book and you pick everything that works for you.
For you.
That's why churches are full. I pastored for a while, and I used to lament that churches are full on Sundays, and then when they come out, there's no change.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, there's no change.
In the
There's
parking lot, there's no change.
Exactly.
The Bible says we are
Yes.
light. Jesus has said we are light. We're supposed to shine. So being light is not enough. You have to come out and shine.
And
so
carry it
the
on
number
forward.
one message of Christianity is love.
Love, yes.
You know, but then there
In
are
most
other
religions, it's love,
there's
to be honest.
miracles, there's healing and all that. But that's what the Nigerians want. That's what we want. That's what we want. I don't have to work. We're lazy in our minds as well.
You know,
Our work
I
ethic
think
is-
you know what's
thing where you
interesting?
don't want
really
to be, you don't
poor.
want to be accountable for the things that happen in
Exactly,
your life.
exactly.
If something goes wrong,
It's
God
always somebody
did not
else's
want
fault.
Satan
it.
or
Somebody
God
from
didn't
my
want
village
it.
is trying to do me.
Exactly.
I don't understand
And then-
that.
and-
Why
and then-
Shanking
and-
responsibility.
They just think like,
that's the problem.
oh, if you fall over and you stub your toe,
Somebody
it's
was
a
planning
message.
you.
Somebody
Yes.
has got, like, I don't understand that way of thinking.
Where
To
did
me,
it
it's
come
just-
from?
But you know
It's
what?
just-
Let me tell you where
I
it
just
came
don't
from.
We
get
And
it.
the
don't
reason
want
why-
to take
I'm curious about that
responsibility.
because
Listen,
before
there's
I
no such
moved
thing
here-
as bad luck.
Thank you. Before I
Michelle, but
moved
you
here,
know
I'd
what?
never
Let me
heard of that before.
not deny the fact that, because I'm going to be very, very honest in that we do have a very different history from, you know, the West, in the fact that traditional religion, worshiping idols, is very, very close to us.
Okay.
Some people's grandparents, your great grandmother, could have been, you know, serving or worshiping
Whatever
Orisha,
idol.
whatever idol.
As they do in other countries, including, for example, Brazil, where they have
As they
that
do, which they
situation.
also have a lot of
So it's not
issues,
just-
Michelle.
Yes, they
So
do.
what I'm
No,
saying-
there's no doubt.
the reason
But
why
my point is, do those because you believe in traditional religion, does traditional religion state that if any single thing goes wrong in your life, you trip, for example, like you did
Actually,
earlier,
that's-
that it is hold on, that
yes,
it is
that's
the
what
fault
traditional
of
religion
him.
is.
It's
Exactly.
Nosa's fault that you trip.
Exactly.
Father was planning
That's
you.
what the essence of those
Every
That's
single
how
traditional
yes,
religion,
they will
oh,
tell
you're being-
you.
you're
okay,
saying
no,
in
true.
Nigeria.
In Nigeria, I'm
So
trying
if
to.
anything goes wrong, it's
Yes,
somebody
my
else's
Edo
fault.
teacher taught us. My Edo teacher taught us then that what they were calling Ogbanje or Abiku was SS.
What if
sickle
you're
cell.
clumsy and you trip because you're
that's
clumsy?
the thing. That's the thing. Now there's sickle cell. Now
Like
they
Frank
don't know
Spencer.
about sickle cell. They get married. Two people, AS. They get married and then they give birth to sicklers, and then the sicklers die. Now because they don't understand what sickle
no, that was
anything
back-
about.
it goes back
That's
to-
the
that goes
thing.
back
It's
to
the
lack
same
of
thing, but it's
education
the
and
same.
Lack of
exposure.
education.
It's the different
That's the
thing.
thing. That's the thing.
It's a
Now,
different
now you bring something new. You didn't.
Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. No, so
Okay.
we're running out of time. We're going to
Okay.
continue the conversation after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So you just
I'd say the main thing that Christianity has taught me is probably not to be so afraid of death.
Yeah.
Because I kind of embraced the religion when my father passed away.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. Our conversation has been very interesting, and if you want to join in on the conversation, make sure that you do so via our social media platforms. Let us know what you think. How has religion influenced Nigeria as a whole? Now, before the break, I know that we cut you off and you wanted to land.
Yeah,
so-
but it's just simple. People would mine out of religion whatever suits their understanding, their needs, their mindsets. You know, so
Yeah.
that's the thing.
I mean, I know people who, you know, when it's convenient for them, they go to a witch doctor. When it's convenient for them, they go to a church.
That,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I
that.
just don't
See,
get
I
it.
can't.
I don't
that-
get
I
it.
don't
Solution.
understand that.
I
No.
think, to be
can't
honest, before I
understand
moved
that.
to Nigeria, I wasn't religious at all. I would say I was spiritual. I always just thought, like, I've got this blanket of good luck around me because weird things always happen, and it's just like, only you, Fadi, and I'm like, yeah, I'm blessed. Then when I came to Nigeria, oh gosh, it was a different kettle of fish because that blessing, it was somebody must have, so they sucked my blessing.
Somebody in your
They
village.
stole my destiny.
They stole your star.
No, but I realized that, especially after my dad passed away,
Yeah.
I actually started going to church a lot more and understanding in a clear, succinct way exactly what the word is meant to do for your life. It's not everybody is a sinner. So it's not like this, if you don't do anything, if you do something wrong, that's it, you're going to go to hell. That's not ever what religion's about, but it's just actually understanding that there's a light and there's a love inside of you that you need to resonate, and it's like a higher frequency. So when you show that and you tap into that light and love, if you share that with somebody else, you resonate at a high frequency and positive things are going to come of that. And for me, really, that's what I think all religions should or are trying to preach.
As much as, definitely the West is very different and they have their challenges that are just as bad as ours. I will say one thing, there is a culture of being your neighbor's keeper. That culture, we have to get it where you're concerned about the next, You're not so quick to cut the person off. You're able to say, oh, you want to enter this lane, no problem. We're both going to get there eventually. It's just a little bit of having
in
that
Nigeria,
spirit.
for our viewers that are watching that are not Nigerian, there are two types of generators. The generator that's the big one that functions really well and it's kind of silent. Then there's the other one that is very noisy, right? So it's the one that is better is the I better pass my neighbor. We have that mentality in Nigeria, and unfortunately, in my opinion, it's seeped into religion as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I better pass my neighbor.
That's the
We
thing.
could
That's
continue on this conversation, and we hope that viewers at home, you've been
I'd like
engaged.
to hear what the viewers at home have to say,
Exactly.
especially with
Be
like
interesting.
we kind of spoke maybe about Christianity, but the other religions, Islam, we
Would be
definitely need to
completely different.
get some of their opinions on board as well.
Definitely, but we have a question of the day, and this is a very interesting one. Now, what is the biggest lesson that your religion has taught you?
You go first.
Oh, religion.
Or, being a Christian,
Specific.
what is...
I'd say the main thing that Christianity has taught me is probably not to be so afraid of death.
It's interesting.
Because I kind of embraced the religion when my father passed away. So that was the only thing that brought me some kind of peace, to be honest. So I think based on that, I'd say that's the main thing that I've learned from it so far.
That's Nosa?
I've learned that I'm a god. And I'm on earth for a reason, that the earth is just a temporary place. So I have to fulfill my purpose for being here, which is to love my neighbor. I'm responsible for my neighbor. I'm responsible for my neighbor's welfare, and that's I think it's majorly
perspective
love.
that you're a god.
Yeah.
I like that. Can
I
I
like
change
that.
my
No,
answer?
that's
I'm a
what I'm
queen.
That's why I'm saying it's interesting.
Yeah.
That you'd say that, especially as a Christian.
But it's
I
true,
like that.
though.
No, but I like it.
No,
Because God
but it's
lives
all
in
over.
us,
It's all
isn't
over
it?
the
I like
Bible,
it.
where
But,
God
we're
says
afraid
you are
to
God.
speak
High five.
that. I like that.
like
that.
I think for me it would be forgiveness.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and when I say forgive, as in not just say I forgive you, but that you forgive the person completely.
Yeah.
You can see them and hi, etc., etc. You've forgotten everything.
It helps your perspective.
It does.
A clean slate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, before we let you go, we have a tradition on the show where we get our guests to share a celebrity secret, something that nobody knows about you.
You start. Let me think.
You start. Let me think. I don't have any secrets. I'm just.
You've shared one before.
I shared one before. Yes,
what's
it's
happened-
no longer a secret.
I mean, on Snapchat, I don't really have many secrets.
No, you
because
don't,
I am so, I think
Open book.
TMI on
Yeah.
Snapchat. So I'm like, what is it that people don't really know about me? I mean, I don't really, let me think. When I'm really tired, I snore. When I'm really stressed, I bite my fingers.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
you know,
really? Like what, you
yeah.
bite your nails or
Yeah,
actually
bite my
bite
finger.
your
No,
finger?
no, fingernails. Sorry.
Okay.
And I'm probably a little bit OCD with some things. Yeah.
You just thought of one?
I
Celebrity
could be
crushes?
Really forgetful. No, could be really forgetful. I stole a book in
It's
my
like
school
confessions.
library. It was a book about Greek mythology. I was so into Greek mythology, so I saw the book and I stole it. But since then, anytime I try to do anything bad, I get caught.
You feel
So
guilty.
okay. Well, no, not
you get
guilt.
caught
I
if you
get
try and do
caught.
anything
So-
bad.
So I just decided, okay, maybe doing bad things
It's not
Doesn't
for
work for you.
No, but then I've I've made some mistakes, which I'm not going to say on air
Well,
because
we
it
all
will
have.
affect
we
That's
were
cool,
affect the
though.
ministry.
the ministry.
That's good.
yes.
You know, it's just
We'll
the fact
not
that
get
you're
to the
honest. It's
permanent
probably
site.
someone's prayer. Someone is interceding on your behalf so that you don't stay in the line
I
of
will
bad
not say
things.
I'm going to
anything.
deny this, by the way. So if anybody comes up to me and says, Fedio, so you bite your finger? No, it wasn't
I
me.
bite my nails. I'm chronic. It's not a secret.
No,
it's
that's
a
obvious.
lot of
chronic
people.
nail bite.
No,
lot of
mine's only
people
when
do
I'm
that.
if my nails look terrible, then it means I'm really stressed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I really, really enjoyed the conversation.